Hi, um, this is a direct message to announce the launch of a new scheme, a curator's grant scheme, a curator's remuneration scheme. The scheme is we are inviting any public intellectual who is passionate about any specific domain, any specific idea, any specific scripture, any specific story, and he or she wants to explore that from a new angle, from a new direction, new perspective. And that exploration should involve new authors. The new authors should emerge out of that exploration because we are on constantly uh, striving to encourage new authors onto the forefront. So this process works like this: you have an idea which you want to explore, and you tell us about the idea, which we say yes or no, and then once we say yes to that idea, we make an announcement. We invite authors to write a short story. This could be 3,000 to 8,000 words, 5,000 to 8,000 words, and we invite and we get the nominees, and you select from them. Once you select, then we will put them through a process of fine tuning their writing skills. This could be through a workshop, this could be through a masterclass grant, this could be in any other way. And then the post the writing workshop or writing skills upgradation, then we edit that, and then we publish it. So this is the process. You have to manage that process. You have to do the process. So you have to select the. You have to get the idea to us. So first and foremost, the idea that you want to be explored. You want to explore a particular theme. That's where the starting point is, and then you need to mentor these young authors, and that whole process, it could be a 3-month process, right from you reach out to us, we say yes, we make the announcement, we give them a month and a half, then they submit the applications, you shortlist them, and then we put them through upgradation of their writing skills, then editing, and then being ready for publishing. So maybe about 90 to 100 days. So we are inviting people who are interested in doing this, who are wanting to explore a particular domain deeper, but in the process of exploration, bring in more writers into the fold, and mentor those writers. So anybody who is interested, you could be an academic, you could be a public intellectual, but you should be passionate about a particular domain, particular idea, particular scripture, particular itihasa, any particular thing from our folk tales, anything from our civilizational stories, and then explore that. I'll just give you 3 examples of what we have successfully done and are trying to do. There's a bit of an I here, so forgive me for being sounding a little egoistic, but I have to explain that. So therefore, I need to state that. So sometime in 2016, we have a small mail group, and in that mail group, I had forwarded something I noticed about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, um, all the characters, all the kingdoms was actually dissected by somebody and made an infographic. So I sent that on the mail group saying that this is a fantastic explanation of that series. That was seen by Sai Swarupa, the author, and then it struck in her mind. And then 3 years later, she created a tweet thread of the Kurukshetra battles. So she just took the Kurukshetra battles, the 28,000 verses that was there, the Kurukshetra battle, and then looked at who fought whom. And then she made a big thread, and then an Excel spreadsheet of all the duels that happened and all the characters that were involved in different fights. And then when I saw that tweet, I reached out and said, why don't you make a post, and we published it on Indic Today. And then suddenly it struck me that all the lesser known characters that are there in that battles, what were they thinking when they got up at 4 o'clock in the morning of the biggest day of their lives? What was going on through their lives? Intuitively, they knew that their battle was there. It's the biggest battle of their day of their lives, and there was journey and how they got there, and so what did they think about it? So I reached out to Sai and said, look, why don't we invite authors and run a contest and do an anthology? And she readily agreed. She's an expert in Mahabharata herself, and she readily agreed. And then we got a fantastic response. Then we put them all through. We put them all through a writing workshop. Then we got them edited, and finally now the book is being published. The Unsung Valor, Lesser Known Wars of the Kurukshetra War, Lesser Known Battles of the Kurukshetra War, and it's being published next month. So it's a very successful experiment of a thought which actually was there in 2016, and then 2019, and then 2020. There's a narrative arc in which that book. Then the 2017, we all attended a seminar by Meenakshi Jain on the flight of deities. And there were 30 of us, and all of us were very emotional because the whole narration and all the troubles and the trauma of the people who were trying to protect the vigrahas from destruction, and the efforts that they went through. So subsequent to that seminar, I wrote in the mail group saying that, look, these kind of emotions need to be captured as stories. So we left it at that, and everybody agreed, but nothing happened. And last year, I mean, this year, after this Unsung Valor was a success, we got a fantastic response. I reached out to Avtans, and then I said, why don't you curate this and be in charge of this process? And so he readily agreed. So now that is also very much on now. The Flight of Deities and all the stories we're going to publish a book. Then Aditi reached out saying that, look, I finished the Curse of Gandhari, and what should I do now? We were just debating, and what kind of what should be the next project that she should take up. I was always fascinated. In fact, when I was on Twitter, I tweeted out saying that, look, I want to do one story on what happens to Arjuna. In Vedanta, for example, we have this three concepts of Sravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam, right? So you listen to your guru, and then you have doubts, that's the Mananam part, and then you internalize it, and that's the Nididhyasanam part. So, for example, Arjuna listened to the Gita in the middle of the battlefield. So what was the Mananam going on in that short span of time was what was, I wanted to explore that. But of course, not that much. I just tweeted out saying that, let's explore this, but nothing came out of it. But when Aditi came back and said that, look, I want to look at exploring Mahabharata. So I said, why don't we do Sanjaya? Because he heard the Gita too. What happened to him? I mean, did he internalize anything? Was he just transmitting the Gita as what happened to him? Was there anything? I just want to explore that. And then we got talking, and then we said, look, why don't we do the lesser known characters of Mahabharata? We did the lesser known battles, and let's do a lesser known characters of Mahabharata. And then she's now made an announcement. We just made the announcement, and she thought of a few characters that need to be explored. and we've just announced it. Response has been very good so far. So if you see the example, there's a lesser known battles in Kurukshetra, then the flight of deities. That's what happened to the protagonists. Who are the protagonists who saved those vigrahas, and what, how did that happen? And then the lesser known characters of Mahabharata. So there are three things that you see. There's a concept, there's a curation that's happening, there's an idea, and then how you see the books are going to emerge out of this. So this scheme is for all of you who are passionate about something, some Puranas or any story from the past, and you want to slice it like this, dice it like this, whatever. I mean, you want to do, you know, sequels. We know prequels was probably a very disruptive idea, which we saw in for Star Wars. So if the Star Wars 1, 2, and 3, and then suddenly came up with the idea of prequels, and then we have a whole host of movies out there. So think about prequels, for example, any character or any incident anywhere that you read, and then before that what happened, or after that what happened as a sequel. So there are various ways in which we can explore our entire civilizational stories, folk stories that need to be told. Um, I mean, you just need to think. You just need to be passionate about something, and say that, look. But the most important thing is you should want to encourage a new talent. This whole idea is to encourage talent. So here is the thing: we want to select 10 curators. We're going to select 10 curators who are in turn going to uh, mentor 10 writers. So that's 100 writers in 1 year's time that will happen. Um, so please reach out to us. This is a very exciting uh, project. We already have 3 successful case studies. So and the process that has been established in terms of an idea, announcement, a receipt of applications, putting them through a writing course or a writing workshop or writing enhancing that, then again editing it and making it publication ready. And then of course Abhinav and Indic Book Club will promote the book, and um, so that's not the thing. You can also think of non-fiction also. Any theme that you want to look. For example, last 6 months back, I learned Bella Ciao, and I wanted to explore fraternity. For example, I made the announcement. Nobody responded. Nobody liked my singing also, but that's okay. But that's one idea, right? Fraternity. How to explore fraternity, or you could explore freedom of expression, FOE. Um, we could explore various topics even even in the non-fiction side also. But the thing is, you should be passionate about that idea, and you should want to mentor young writers, because for writers also, writing a whole book is 30,000 40,000 words is a big deal. But if you say that, look, you can write 3 to 8,000 words, a short story, or a short essay, it's easier for them. And bringing 10 into a book is a easier thing. And so think about it. We would be gladly be remunerating. We're planning to remunerate 30,000 rupees to each curator for this exercise, so that it's an effort that you're compensated for your time. And yeah, so we look forward to all of you who are passionate about various topics. It could be biopics also, for example. You must have watched the film Ramanujam. How did that story develop? I mean, somebody had to think, do the research, and write a story. So we can look at biopics, 10 biopics of, a particular theme. Um, Biopics of ancient Indian mathematicians, for example. That's one theme, and then you create a biopic. And how did they get there? Uh, it could be a story. So yeah, so looking forward to all of you who are passionate about um preserving, protecting, and promoting our civilizational thought. This is an exciting scheme. Please write to us at namaste@indica.org.in. In the subject, you say curator scheme, curator grant scheme, and tell us the idea that you want to explore. Thank you very much.